ML Sports Take here, brought to you by Welch & Company Jewelers and Stanley Law Offices. 24-22, the Bills beat the Chargers. It was a wacky game when you think about it. The Bills got down early 10-0. I told everybody, man, short week, traveling across the country, emotions after the Dallas game. Listen, you're still playing competitors. You're still playing professional athletes. And then the Bills finally got it together. End of the first half, couple of great drives. They go 10-7, and then 14-10 take the lead after they were down. Obviously, the unbelievable 57-yard pass from Josh Allen to Gabe Davis for a TD, and then Allen with a 2-yard run to take the lead going into the second half. And then it was obviously extremely stressful, I'm sure, for Bills fans across the country. The Chargers get a field goal, then the Bills come down, have a great drive again, 75 yards, 10 plays. We've seen that so many times, led by Josh Allen, and of course capped by an Allen run. By the way, Josh Allen is now the first player in the history of the NFL to have 40 or more touchdowns in 4 straight seasons. Only player. Josh Allen. That's right. And then the Chargers owned the fourth quarter, man. I mean, they scored a field goal. They get another field goal. It's a 2-point game. They get another field goal, but they owned the Bills from a time of possession, stalling tactic type thing, scoring type thing until the end, where the Bills literally had to put together a scoring drive with Taylor Bass kicking it. Now, it was interesting because on that drive, of course, Khalil Shakir made a catch. He goes down. It looked like he popped up and then scored and wasn't touched, but he was touched barely. And then you thought about it. At that point, you're like, well, do you just go for the touchdown? You know, if you go for a touchdown and you go for 2, you know, then you have a situation where, you know, you're up 29-22. The Chargers have to get a touchdown to tie you. You know, go for 2, they could get the win. You know, do you try to score and get the 2, but leave them with about 1.5 to 2 minutes with a timeout? Or do you go down and try to get the field goal and milk the clock all the way down, have them burn their timeouts after the 2-minute warning? That's what Sean McDermott elected to do. Here's my thing, though. If you're going to do that, why don't you just down the ball? Why did they have to hand it off to Leonard Fournette, and why did Josh Allen have to run it straight forward for like a half a yard? Why don't you just down the ball at that particular point with Josh Allen? Because then you're really working the hashes to your favor. Now, it turned out that it worked out. Tyler Bass hit it through. The Bills, there weren't a lot of seconds left on the clock, I think 20 to 25-ish, and they tried the whole back lateral stuff until a forward lateral happened. They called the penalty, game over. But the Bills should have never been in that position. They were down in that game late to the Chargers. I mean, you're thinking about under 2 minutes, and the Bills, you know, they had to scratch and claw to win this game, right? And it was not a great showing by any stretch of the imagination. But by the same token, NFL, competitive, professional athletes on the other side, competitors, West Coast trip, all the things I alluded to earlier. Now you move on. That's all there is to it. You win, you put it behind you, and you move on. You win, you put it behind you, you move on. And now you have the Patriots at home. Everything's still in front of you, and you leapfrogged a couple of teams in the wild card as well. The Bills are firmly in a great position because they won this game, and that's all that matters. You won it, and now you move on. But they do have to look better. And by the way, Josh Allen did throw a bad pick in this game. The Bills had a lot of different blunders in this game. They have to clean that stuff up against the better teams because, you know, a team like Baltimore, a team like Kansas City, teams like that, teams like Miami, they will take advantage of those mistakes. Now, the Bills' defense was, I thought, unbelievable in this game for the most part, and they really came to play him. And you think about all these guys, you know, Taylor Rapp was a tackle machine, Johnson, Bernard, all these players. I mean, Bernard had a sack. Ed Oliver pretty much saved Christmas, right? I mean, Ed Oliver had that big sack at the end of the game, and then the clock kept a tick and a tick and a tick, and he had 2 sacks in this game. You know, Poona Ford, I thought, looked unbelievable. A couple of spin moves in this game. He was really benefiting from, of course, Ed Oliver getting up and in there, sometimes drawing a double team, then freeing Poona Ford for some activity as well. So they were terrific. Shaq Lawson was awesome in this game. I thought Christian Benford was great in this game. Russo really applied pressure. Rasul Douglas was great in this game. He had that sack from the left side, of course, where the Chargers didn't read it. You know, the receiver goes out and Easton Stick threw it, but the receiver didn't turn around because he thought it was a burn play, and it was a great sack by Rasul Douglas. So the Bills' defense came to play. They did enough against Austin Eckler, who only had 65 yards. At times, it felt like he had a lot more than that, but he didn't. And Easton Stick had a very serviceable game, 23 of 33 for 215 yards. It's not a statistical page that jumps out to you, but he was very effective, especially in the first half, where he was able to just, hike, get the ball out quickly, hike, get the ball out quickly. And that was really a smart recipe for the Chargers because they didn't have a lot of weapons. You're down a bunch of guys on the offensive line, and you have a backup quarterback with his second career start. So you want to be smart with it. Hike the ball, throw the ball, hike the ball, throw the ball. They were able to do that, move the chains, and get out early. But then the Bills came back, led 14-10 at the half, and then it was nip and tuck the rest of the way. Field goal battle in the fourth quarter, and the Bills came out on top. So a wild game, a stressful game, but if you're a Bills fan, again, they won, you put it behind you, you move on. Now you can enjoy the football today, tonight, tomorrow, and tomorrow night, all throughout the Christmas holiday. Mike Lindsley with you here. It's an ML Sports Take. It's all brought to you by our good friends at Ken's Auto Detailing and my pals here at Stumbling Monkey Brewing Company. Man, you got to head on out there every day, all week long during the holiday season. They've got amazing beers on tap. And of course, you can get your growlers. You can sign up for the Mug Club. Victor, New York, School Street, right in that Rochester area. A lot of people home for the holidays watching this video. So make sure that you go there and try some of the beers at Stumbling Monkey Brewing Company. They got the seltzers, the IPAs, all the holiday beers. They got a new special amber ale out as well. Tremendous place to go hang out and watch the football and have a couple of pints with your family and friends. Stumbling Monkey Brewing Company, the official brewery of the ML Sports Platter. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.